Hey guys, in today's video I'm going to be doing a comparison of two different truck bed mats or bed liners. Right here I've got the Lasfit truck bed liner. Special thanks to Lasfit for providing this truck liner for the video. And then over here I've got the Bedrug mat. And this video is actually by request. Over the last couple years I have gotten a ton of questions throughout the different videos I published with folks asking, hey, what is that bed mat that you've got in the back of your truck? This one specifically right here from Bedrug, and I've never actually done a review on it. And Lasfit reached out and asked me if I wanted to do a video on their truck bed liner. And so I thought, well, it might be really interesting to see these two truck bed liners or mats in the same video. I really don't think they're competing bed mats or bed liners, but really more, complementary. It just kind of depends on your use case, which one makes the most sense for you. And so stay tuned for a detailed comparison. And guys, like I said, I really don't think these two bed liners, these two bed mats are competing products. I mean, I don't even know that the same person would be cross-shopping these two products at the same time. And so I'm going to start on the Lasfit here and give you all the details and then hop over to the Bedrug. And at the very end of the video, you might be wondering, can you use both of these products at the same time? And so I'll talk about that briefly at the end of the video. But let's start out here with the Lasfit truck bed liner. And just to start things out, this is my 2024 GMC Sierra 2500 HD. This is the standard bed for the HD truck. And so it's about 6'9" approximately. Really nice bed length, but they come, of course, in different sizes for all kinds of different truck beds. And so you just have to match up your truck bed on the Lasfit website. But what I really like about this truck bed liner is it provides a really nice, durable mat that is conformed exactly to the shape of your bed. And I mean, you can see just starting on the edge, first of all, how tight everything is up against the side of your truck bed wall there. And then if you look even at the profile here where it sits on the floor, I mean, it follows all the different ridges and curves perfectly. And so clearly they're using some kind of computer, system to measure this and get that exact fit. So it's got a really nice fit. And then I also like this detail on the ends, how they've kind of rolled the product over itself instead of just cutting it. And I think that'll make it more, durable up on the lip on the edges there. But I mean, talk about a precision fit all the way around. I'll try to give you some close-ups so you can see just how well it conforms to the entire truck bed all the way around. And so I really like that a lot, just how tight it is, and that way dust and things aren't going to get under the mat, and it's going to do its job properly. As far as the way this product is shipped, you might be noticing these horizontal lines here. There's a set right here and then another set over here, and that is because when they ship this product, if you can imagine, a big product like this can be very expensive to ship. But if it's folded on itself in a smaller package, that drastically cuts down the shipping price of a product like this and, of course, makes it more affordable for us as the end user. And so that's actually what these series of lines are. That's where they fold the truck bed liner on itself, and that way you don't have any weird, bending marks or anything when you unfold everything. I was, kind of concerned about that because in the past, when I've had products like this, liners for trunks and whatnot, and they're folded on themselves, sometimes when you unfold them, you see an ugly crease or kind of a discoloration where it was folded. But the way they engineer this, it's kind of almost like a built-in crease, so that when it ships, everything unfolds real nicely and you don't have any imperfections. So I really like that a lot. Basically, they fold it on itself 3 times and then 1 more time and a half. And I'll show you kind of what that unboxing looks like if you're curious. And then, of course, the install is really straightforward, really simple. You just clean out the back of your truck, get all the debris out of it, and then it's as simple as laying the mat inside the truck bed. I did lay mine out in the sun beforehand just to soften everything up. Really, I don't think it would take much because it seemed like the material itself was very flexible to begin with, even when it was cold. But yeah, I just think it's a really nice fit and really offers the basic protection that we're looking for as truck owners in the truck bed. Now I'll give you some close-up views so you can get a better idea of what the actual material is like. It feels like something that is plastic-based with perhaps a rubberized component. So there's a little bit of softness here when I touch the mat, the liner, compared to the hard truck bed right there. But it seems like a very durable product. It has a kind of a print, almost like a pole with a chain going through it in a geometric pattern. It almost looks like a carbon fiber pattern from a distance. But I think that'll provide some nice grip, and I'll show you what it looks like, you know, sliding things in and out of the truck, because after all, a lot of times we get these liners not just to protect the truck, but to have a little more grip so that when you got stuff in the back of your truck and you're doing your burnouts in 0 to 60s, things aren't, you know, sliding around, of course. And so I think this has just the right amount of grip, not too much grip, but enough to keep things from sliding around. And I really do like this finished edge, the way they did this all the way around the perimeter. You can see kind of what the underside looks like there. It's got more of a smooth texture, but I really think it looks nice the way they folded the material on itself. Makes it just look really nice and finished around the perimeter. Now the material itself appears to be non-porous, and so if I spill a little bit of oil perhaps on the mat, like I just did there, I don't have to worry about it, you know, leaching in like I would over on the bed mat over here that I'll show you next. And so that is one nice thing if you're hauling things that are liquid, or, you know, fuel, oils, things like that, or even something that's damp perhaps, like, you know, pine straw or mulch. I think this cover would really work out nicely, because when you make a mess, you could just hose it off, or, you know, if it's something small, just wipe it down like I just did there. Okay, so those are all the details on the Lasfit cover. If you have any questions about it that I left out, definitely drop me a comment below. Now, before I show you the details on the Bedrug, let me just answer the question, who really would I recommend this Lasfit cover to? And like I said before, if you're going to be hauling anything that's, you know, damp or wet or liquids, things like that, this is going to clean up a lot easier. But there's one specific application where I think this is just an absolute clear winner, a no-brainer, and that is if you buy a truck that does not come with a factory bed liner, right? I mean, this truck right here, when it was ordered, it came with GM's factory bed liner. I bought trucks in the past where maybe they just didn't get ordered from the dealer that way, and so you get the truck and then you got to take it somewhere to have the bed lined, right? And I think last time I did that, it was, you know, probably 7 or 8 years ago. And if I remember right, it was about $400 or $500. I would imagine now with inflation that the cost to do a Line-X or a similar comparable bed liner would probably be about $600, $700. That is very expensive. I think this Lasfit bed liner would make a lot of sense if you buy a truck that doesn't have a bed liner in it already. You're looking for that basic protection. And I mean, this is a fraction of the cost of having a factory bed liner sprayed in, right? And so I really think that's where the Lasfit bed liner makes a lot of sense. I think you're getting, we could say the 80-20 rule, you're getting, you know, 80% of the functionality, the durability that you would get out of a, you know, spray-in bed liner, but you're paying 20%, just a fraction of the cost to get all that. And so I really think that would be a smart move. If you have a truck that doesn't have a bed liner, I would do this all day long, and I think it would offer the protection that I'm looking for. But guys, do me a favor and let me know what you think about this Lasfit bed liner in the comments below. Your feedback is super important to other truck owners. I'm gonna do a quick switch up and pull out this Lasfit bed liner and then swap it for the Bedrug, and then I'll give you all the details on the Bedrug. And I've had this one actually for about, I guess, almost 1.5 years since I bought the truck. And so it's obviously not brand new. You're gonna see some wear and tear on it, as you can probably see in the video. But I have bought this exact same brand for the last, maybe 3 or 4 trucks. And that's how much I like this particular bed mat. And so really this takes the same approach that the Lasfit mat in terms of, you know, fitting the specific truck. They do make a generic one that you can cut down, but this one right here is specifically designed for the truck. And you can see it doesn't go up the sides of the truck bed. It's just gonna be a mat essentially, but it still does have a real nice, precise fit. And this one is more of a, it is plastic based, but it's more like a carpet. It's essentially just little strands of plastic essentially that are, you know, manufactured together. And so it's got this nice soft carpet feel. But I think the big thing that stands out about this is it's almost like a cushion. And so I don't know about you, but when I'm kneeling down, especially on concrete or metal, I just can't do that very long. And so I like to have something soft for my knees, and this is just like a giant pad basically for your truck bed, so that when you're in the truck bed, you know, on your knees, it's nice and comfortable. In fact, the same company that makes this bed mat, Bedrug, they also make this portable kneeling mat right here, which I've had for oh goodness, at least 5 or 6 years. You can see it's gotten a lot of love, but I use this all the time when I'm working under the truck, you know, kind of like a stationary creeper to lay on, just a nice, you know, cushion. Sometimes I'll fold it in half and use it if I want a little bit more cushion like that. But this is just super versatile. I use it inside, outside, just about anywhere where I want a nice pad to kneel on. And essentially, this mat is the same material. You can see how it conforms to the grooves, the ridges of the truck bed. So that's really nice. And you can see the different thicknesses. I mean, it really makes kneeling or working in your truck bed a lot more comfortable. Now, I also really like, in addition to the cushion and protection that this Bedrug provides, I do like that it adds some friction to keep things, you know, from sliding around in the bed while you're driving. In fact, you can probably see up here the impressions of where I keep my toolbox over here. And this thing does not slide around. It stays firmly planted up here, even when I'm doing my 0 to 60s, you know, which of course I do all the time in this truck, right? But no, seriously, in terms of friction, it's kind of complicated because in some ways, I would say this is a smoother surface for things to slide on compared to the factory bed liner surface. But in other ways, when you put some weight on here, you can imagine the weight of this heavy toolbox right here. It's probably 60, 70 pounds with everything in it. And it kind of, you know, imprints and sits down into the carpet-like surface. And I think that's ultimately what gives it its, you know, its traction. So if you've got lighter things in your bed, you know, like cardboard boxes that you're sliding around, I haul a lot of those back here. Those things can slide in and out, but there is a little bit of friction so that they're not just, you know, moving all over the place while you're driving. But then the heavier you go, I think you're going to have even more friction, like my toolbox here. So that's just something unique about this Bedrug compared to the factory bed liner. And if you're wondering, you know, friction-wise, how does that stack up against the Lasfit? I would say the Lasfit has more friction right off the bat across a variety of, you know, weights and materials, just because of the material it's made out of, compared to this one, which, you know, is a little bit smoother until you put heavier stuff on there. All right, well, next let me talk about the cons with the Bedrug here, because like I said, I have used this personally on the last 3 to 4 trucks I've owned, really the better part of the last decade. And so I can tell you up front from a first-hand perspective, you know, where it shines, the pros, and of course the cons as well. So really the first con that you'll notice here is that it's kind of like a debris magnet. I don't know if you can tell in the video here, but there are just tons of little pieces of debris. Little piece of cardboard, straw, you know, other things that kind of almost get stuck into the fibers here. And so you almost have to take a vacuum and go through it like a carpet vacuum with a brush. And then sometimes the pieces get so embedded in there, if I don't keep up with it, that you almost have to go in there and pull it out. So that's definitely one con for sure there. And then the other is, because it is a, you know, like a carpet, even though it is plastic fibers, it is going to stain. And so you can see this one's only about 1.5 years old, and you know, I put stuff in my truck almost every day. And so it's got some little stains there, some oil stains. Of course, I could, you know, take a pressure washer or some shampoo and get all that out if I really wanted to, but you know, it takes work to get all that out. And so what I'm showing you here is just what it looks like after using it for about 1.5 years. And so in terms of stain resistance, debris and dust, that's definitely one con with the Bedrug here compared to the Lasfit here, because it's non-porous. It's going to be a lot easier to, you know, keep clean. And then last two details I'll point out on the Bedrug here. First, with the install, it's going to be just like the Lasfit. It's going to rest on top of your existing bed. On the Bedrug, they do give you 2 Velcro strips underneath, 2 hook and loop style Velcro strips. I never use them. I just let it rest on top of the bed, but they do give you those, I guess, in case you didn't have a tonneau cover, you know, and you were afraid of it blowing out if you didn't have anything, you know, sitting on top of it. And then as far as shipping with the Bedrug, they basically just roll it, and it's going to be in a much taller, you know, box, basically the length of your bed essentially. And so there is some, I think, some extra shipping probably built into the price of this product here. The Bedrug is going to be just a little bit more expensive compared to the Lasfit here. Okay, so far I've talked about both products individually, you know, their pros and cons. And like I said earlier in the video, I really don't think these are competing products, but more complementary. So what about both products together? Does that even work? Well, check this out. Right now I've got the Lasfit liner down first, and then I've got the Bedrug on top of it. And so this is what it looks like right here. And you can see here, well, it kind of works until you get up to the edges, and then it's going to curl up a little bit on the Bedrug because we're adding in the thickness of the Lasfit liner right there. So it does kind of work. I mean, I was trying to think of a situation of why would you want to layer them in the first place? And again, going back to who I would recommend the Lasfit, I really think it's a no-brainer if your truck didn't come with a, a factory spray-in liner or a bed liner. I really think the Lasfit is a no-brainer because it gives you that same protection at a fraction of the cost. And so let's say I was in that scenario, I didn't have a bed liner. I would definitely put one of these Lasfit liners down first. And then if I wanted the best of both worlds, so to speak, and I wanted that cushion, I might even put the Bedrug on top of it. I'd have to do it in that order, obviously. You couldn't put the Lasfit on top of the Bedrug. That wouldn't work so well. In fact, the instructions for the Lasfit tell you that, hey, you can't have any, cushions or pads under the Lasfit because it's just not going to conform, properly. So I do think you could do this here. And in fact, I think if you really wanted to layer it like this with the Bedrug on top, you could easily trim, maybe a 1/2 inch to 1 inch all the way around the perimeter. I mean, you could use a box cutter, a sharp razor, or even a sharp scissors, and then it would lay flat, inside the Lasfit liner. So just wanted to put that out there for you folks. If you're on the fence and not sure which one to get and you kind of want the best of both worlds, it could be done. And that way too, if you don't have room to store both of them independently, you could just keep both of them in your truck at all times, and then you're ready to go. Well guys, I hope you found this video helpful. Do me a favor and let me know what you think about these two different bed mats, these two different bed liners. And if you have any questions about the products featured in today's video, definitely drop me a comment below and I'll do my best to answer them. I will include affiliate links to purchase all these different products showcased in today's video down in the description below. So I appreciate you using those to help support the channel. As always, thanks for watching.